because right now, from a story perspective, marketing perspective, indie comics whole industry perspective, everything since I'm not saying like you guys are new to this space. I consider myself somewhat new to this space, but I've been
Yeah.
in it for long enough to where you'll learn that the there's different subgroups of every part of this industry, especially when it comes to the people reading mainstream comics, like people that read Marvel and DC. Every Wednesday, they pick up new books. That's their own crowd, and it's virtually separate most of the time from everything else of what we call the indie space. And in the indie
Yeah.
space, there are some people that only really read mainstream indies, and they think books done by Dark Horse and Image are somewhat like the lesser known. They think they're diving deep into the bargain basement weird stuff. And then there's other
Yeah.
people. There's a huge space that's growing every year. Like you can look at the numbers. Kickstarter alone and Indiegogo, it's gone from, I want to say, like, since 2016 up until today, it progressively growing to where millions more dollars are funded into comics, more readers are getting into them, and not only
Why
that,
do
but
you think
just
that's happening?
there's a lot of different reasons. And a lot of the people I bring on here will go into the what they see, but a lot of this is all up for debate and discussion. But the whole big mainstream argument is there's people that see it as like a culture war thing, and comics is sort of the ground base of not just comics but video games and virtually anywhere where IP might start. That then eventually, if you
Yeah.
think of where it grows, ultimately would be TV shows, film franchises, and ultimately theme parks, merchandise. Like the as IP
Right.
grows into a phenomenon, where it
Yeah.
starts is usually just comic books and or anyway, but books in general. And so the people that are in this community, they see that as like we are the seeds to what spins the world around. And that like that then if you grasp that worldwide, there is also the manga side of this thing. And the manga side is massive because there's so much more people over in the East. So it's just
Yeah.
like you imagine web comics, webtoon, and manga overseas. Like it is a behemoth. It almost in itself, like just manga alone, can over trump even the U.S. entertainment machine. It's just that
Yeah.
big as far as consumers. And I think here in the West, you get like people that are really adamant about sort of idolizing the Eastern anime shows and manga, and that is almost
Yeah.
seen as a superior medium, even though because it's more in the same sense that you see like the Japanese building their houses without nails and stuff like that, where it's just a pure art form. Like it's just
Yeah.
back to the most like just only it takes ancient skills and knowledge to be able to do something so perfect. In the same sense that you some see manga in the same light. I'm exaggerating for fun, but like in sort of like that. So then you take that combined with sort of culture wars, we're the thing that matters in the world, and there's this whole new thing that's growing in the West. And where does it all come to? Kickstarter and indie comics in general, mixed with people being able to, the barrier to entry is zero. Like you
Yeah.
can literally draw on paper, scan it with your phone, and ultimately, make comic books professionally in a sense with not that much effort. Like, I mean, it takes serious
It's
effort
effort.
as
No,
we
but
all know, but it's not like it takes. You don't need to pull funding from. You don't need to try to act. Although crowdfunding is required, like there are some who truly do need to raise 3 grand to get started or something like that. But from a general sense, like you can get started completely on your own and slowly
oh yeah.
grow by growing your audience online, by progressively reaching one issue at a time, and so
It,
on. So
mhm.
Yeah.
like that combined with like kind of anybody can do it. and you can kind of quickly get onto the same playing field as are the biggest idols in the world if you want to go there.
Yeah, I
And now
think
that's where like I come into play is because I can actually show people how to get there. How do you go from zero to being able to work with someone as powerful and influential as like Kim Jong Ji, who I've worked with, or
yeah,
Shintaro Kago, and things like that. And people from all over the world, and just the internet has made it easier. Which I don't want to talk forever, but that reminded me. Didn't you say, Elliot, you lived in South Korea for a while?